Hey, welcome back. We're working on the Forerunner today. Nothing too fun, just fluids and things. But I'm gonna redo these headlights, and I want to show you this. This isn't sponsored, by the way. This is a kit I found that I've used a couple times that I think is awesome. But I want to show you the kit I'm gonna use to redo these headlights. It was super easy, and the results were awesome. So you can see you got all the fluids here. But this is what I want to show you. It's the CERAKOTE ceramic headlight kit. I think it's like 17, 18 bucks on Amazon. Link will be below. They give you a ton of supplies, so you don't feel like you're skimping. So I think doing these headlights is going to be easy, and I'm going to do the fog lights with the same kit. Now, this is no knock against my 13-year-old daughter, but even my 13-year-old daughter can use this kit. She did a great job in her Jeep. I don't know if I have before footage for hers, but hers are pretty bad. This dirty's been sitting out here, but these are super clear now. I was looking to buy her new ones. This one's a little, could have been sanded maybe a little better, but it looks great. And then, I don't know if I have a before clip of these lights, but it did not look anywhere near that. But it works great. Those are new lights. So enough yapping, let's get started. Step one will be cleaning off the headlights and taping it up. But then you use these wipes to get off the oxidation, and these work so well, they turn yellow. I don't know if that's just a chemical thing to make you feel better, but it takes so much of the surface off. Then you come in with couple different grits, 2,000, 3,000 grit to give this little block. You sand and sand, wet sand, and then finally you put on a CERAKOTE wipe. And there's plenty in here, plenty in each of these. So let's get these sprayed down. This doesn't look like it needs it, but these guys do. You could pop them out if you want. The real key here is not to scratch your paint. Spray away, spray away. Shouldn't be too dirty. Next step is we'll just tape up around the headlight to try and protect the paint. Although when you're wet sanding, this will probably lose adhesion, but at least it'll help a little bit. As you can see, I got her all taped up. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing paint here. Just trying to give ourselves a little bit of room to make a mistake, but we're going to try not to. You don't have to do the step, just definitely do it, especially because on a customer's car. Even though the paint's not perfect, don't want to make it worse. So open these up. And I'm just gonna keep doing that. See how it's starting to get yellow. Really not as bad as they could be. These lights probably aren't the best example, but it's what we're doing today. Got 4 wipes just for this side. So you can go nuts. You can see just changing all sorts of colors, and then you can kind of do one of those and keep going, but they give you plenty. Let's hit it down here. We still got stuff on this one. I'm not going to bore you with that. You got all the wipes, just use them. And that's just one side wiping down. Obviously it's going to look clear because it's clarifying the light coming out by being wet and filling in those cracks. But you can see even on these lights that are pretty well oxidized, but not the worst I've seen. Not like the Commander, even down there. Now I'm just going to repeat on the other side. Just be sure you're following the instructions they give you. You want to make sure you do it exactly right. Now at this point, your trash can should look something like this, and these wipes look like a smoker's lungs, and the headlights look a lot better now. Now I rinse this one, you're going to see a little bit of cloudiness because we need to sand it away before we coat it. Let's rinse it off thoroughly. I got this nice sprayer, but whatever you got to get it wet. So between this and the wet sanding is you'll see why it's gonna. Now, depending on your personality type, here comes the fun part or the really fun part. We get the sand. So they give you a couple of discs, 2,000 and a 3,000. Start with a 2,000 and work your way up. They just go on this nice little sanding block. I did that last time too. I thought this was my mind's looking at that like sandpaper, but that's the sandpaper size. That's the Velcro side. Or hook and loop. So it's very important you do this wet, and then also you're going side to side. So you're not creating swirl marks. With this kit, they don't want you to have swirl marks on it. Now, the more time you spend here, the better. If there's deep scratches and to smooth out that surface, the surface is all uneven, and you gotta bring it down so it's all at an even spot, and then polish it with the 2,000 and 3,000 grit. If your headlights are really bad, you might want to look up jumping up and using different sandpaper and working your way up from even coarser grit, but we'll be fine here. Even if your headlights are bad, like on my Commander with this, knocked out of the park, and for the effort and money, I wouldn't do it any other way. I wouldn't go out and get, you know, buffer. Now, if you had a Ferrari or something you really want to pay a detailer to do it, but for an hour of your time and less than 20 bucks, this is it. The juice is worth the squeeze on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know why people say, I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead, and trust me, I'm not gonna make you watch me sand it, just wanna show you. Just gonna come across here, and you might need to take the paper off and get in the corners if you got a more complicated headlight, but you're just gonna come across and you can hear it and you can feel it. Yeah, I mean, I'll bring you in here in a second, but you can already see. And the thing here too is this headlight's got a curve and you got a flat surface, so you can see that's all that's hitting is that little spot. So you got to make sure you get the whole thing. So you're gonna want to do this over and over. Make sure you get the whole thing, and you can feel it. You can feel where it's smooth, and you can feel where it's really rough. These headlights had a little bit of a band here of cracking and pitting, probably just from all the dirt and dust over the 20-something years is hitting right here and not up there so much. But also there's some minor cracking within the housing that you're not going to get. That's not going to make these perfectly brand new, but it will clean them up a lot and hopefully improve the light output and just the look of the vehicle. You're surprised, you know, it'll just shine that vehicle up if you're trying to sell it, or just the value of it, or just want to have a little bit of pride in what you drive. You know, we like to go out without stains on our shirts, so don't go out with a stain on your car or a ripped shirt. You know, I start going up and down, that'll be fine too, but where it's gonna stick horizontal, you can just see the material just coming off. So keep doing that, keep wetting it down. I'm gonna wet it down again and get back to it, and I'm gonna do down here too, and then we'll check back in, because you don't want to watch me do this for 20 minutes, do you? The more you spend time here, the better it'll turn out. The less time you spend, the less better it'll turn out. You make it nice and smooth and CERAKOTE it, and once it's in there, golden. But if you just quick this one, it'll look better, but it won't look as good as it can. So spend the time here in sanding, and then the final step is quick and over. Just like with painting. You know, I'm not a pro painter. I've only painted a few things, but the more time you spend sanding, the better that paint job comes out. And then even then, on a good paint job, you got to sand it and wet sand it and buff it to make it perfect. So let's just do this. All right, I've gone over it 4, 5, 6, 7 times with the 2000 grit. Gone over it a couple times with the 3000. And it's looking good. Again, it's wet, so if it dries, it's probably going to look a little cloudy because all those micro imperfections are, is that Jurassic Park? Are clouding the light. So that's what the CERAKOTE's going to fill in and fix. But make sure you keep it wet. You know, that'll kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like as well. But you want to get all that material that you're sanding off the light, so you're not gouging it anymore. And on the pad too, sometimes a little bit of buildup on the pad. But you can hear, if you can hear over the geese, not too bad. Much worse, because this is the part that's the roughest, so you can spend a little extra time on those areas as well. Let's see how it changes. Because it's rougher. I can't feel it with my finger. I mean, it's ever so slightly with my finger, but it's really in there. Again, you know, you want to do this to make them perfect. Buy new ones. You want to do this to make it perfect by hand. You know, you can't replace them for some reason. You know, get some more professional tools. But for 99% of the jobs that you and I are going to do, this is going to be perfect. So just keep doing that until you're a little tired of it, and do it some more until you know you've done the right amount. You'll feel it. When you're done, you're done. So that's after sanding. I rinsed it off real good a couple times, wiped it off a spray away again. It's not perfect, right? You're going to see some imperfections and micro scratches. Again, this is where you would probably come in professionally or spend even more time on it, but spend a decent amount of time on there. You can tell even without the CERAKOTE on it, the CERAKOTE's going to fill in some of those imperfections. It's going to protect it from being oxidized again, at least quickly, to this is the side that's, we just removed the oxidation with the wipes, right? Still very cloudy. Actually looks clearer on camera than it does in person. This looks about the same, maybe a little bit clearer on camera, but it's very clear. You know, even if this was a result without CERAKOTE, it's a lot better. So I'm gonna get the sanding on this side, and then we'll do the fun stuff with a quick wipe of the CERAKOTE. Driver's side is all sanded up. Rinsed it real well with water and spray away. Now comes the fun part. Got the CERAKOTE pads. Just gonna try it. They want to do, I think, 50% overlap, so we're just gonna go in one direction. You got a couple minutes on this, but that should settle. Do down here too. Now there's plenty more material on this. Probably do more headlight than that, but we're gonna be good on this side. Another thing, make sure you got it really dry. Maybe get some compressed air, towels, let it air dry before you put the CERAKOTE on. I didn't do that this time. Honestly, I forgot. But it didn't get wet, so the CERAKOTE's fine. The coating just can't get water in it. It'll do something to it that it won't turn out good, I guess. So here's the big reveal. Looks awesome. This is all that sanded material that I gotta wipe off. It's been over an hour, been about an hour and a half almost. Don't want to mess with it just yet. A couple feet away, it's perfect. I mean, you get up close. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, there you go. You can see that there are scratches and cracks in the plastic. Not scratches from sanding, but like in the plastic. You can see it up there. Those were there before. Those are not going to come out. Those are very deep. Down here looks way better. There's a little bit of surface that camera doesn't want to pick it up. This one didn't come out as good. There's a little bit of streaking there, but it's okay. Camera still doesn't even pick it up. I can see it in person though. Same here, just those same micro cracks in the plastic that you're not going to be able to fix. That stuff is not going to come out. You're going to have to replace the headlights, or I mean, you can even see there's cracking on the housing in there for that. So that's not going to be fixed, but they look brand almost new. I gotta do some other work on this, but before I do that, let's pull this out in the sunlight and take a good look at it. I mean, in the sun, it's looking so good. I've only paint cleaned up that easy. I mean, it's really a night and day difference. All right, well, that's it. I think she cleaned up pretty good. Hopefully my friends, the owners, are gonna love it and think it looks good, and hopefully it'll work well and last. I don't know longevity on this. It's supposed to be a long time, and I think it will be with the CERAKOTE. So far, it's been great on the several cars that I've done it on. So if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Got more coming on the 4Runner, the Commander, other stuff. But until then, keep standing up for what's right, and may God bless you. The results are so good in such a little bit of time, I just want to do it on more. Does the quad need it? No.